What's going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite, and today we're going to be talking about everything we know about the mid-season update, our first look at some upcoming DLC, plus even more. Definitely stay tuned. But before we jump into that, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below, because we're very close to 100,000 subscribers here on the main channel. Really appreciate it. Also drop a like and turn notifications on to stay up to date with everything going on in Modern Warfare 2, Warzone 2, Warzone Mobile, and any other future Call of Duty as well. Now, before we continue with the crazy updates regarding mid-season, let's go ahead and take the sponsor of today's video. Now, tonight's video is sponsored by Point3 Gear. Point3 Gear is a clothing brand dedicated to evolution in performance clothing. They're expanding beyond just basketball gear to now gaming. They've just announced officially licensed Modern Warfare 2 merch, starting with a bunch of shorts and even some sleeves. Now, these shorts do feature built-in towels on both hips, and these shorts do allow amateurs and pros alike to dominate their lobby and keep their hands dry in between missions. They've sent me 3 different Call of Duty shorts, as you guys can see, and there's also going to be limited edition joggers, sleeves, and shorts coming soon in the future. I'm definitely going to rock these as I start working out again, or when I need to hop on for some quick gameplay sessions. You gotta be comfortable when you're grinding COD 2.0, right? But right now, they have a special Black Friday deal going on site-wide, and using code BF40 will save you 40% off any order. They're also offering free shipping on orders over $50. Now, if you're ready to rock the most comfortable Modern Warfare 2 merch, then check out Point3 Gear with a special link in this video's description or the pinned comments, and thank you to Point3 Gear for sponsoring tonight's video. Now, Season 1 is off to a strong start, at least in my opinion. We had the release of Warzone 2, DMZ, a brand new battle pass, weapons, and even some bundles. For those out there that are like, wait, DK, multiplayer hasn't gotten much content since Season 1 started, so what are you talking about? Well, the thing is, Modern Warfare 2 had just come out 3 weeks before Season 1 started, so I never thought that Season 1 was going to add that much content to multiplayer anyway, and as we'll talk more about later in this video, I'd much rather have them put out some banger multiplayer content when it's not being overshadowed by major releases like Warzone 2, DMZ, even raids. That's the way I look at things, but let's just see how future seasons do work. Now, the other day with update 1.11, the battle pass timer was updated in-game to reflect the fact that Season 1 does end on February 1st. So with that in mind, I'm like, wait a second, okay, Season 1 is about a 70+ day season, or when it started, it was about close to 80 days, and that's typically how long the first seasons are, at least for the past 3 Call of Duties, so it doesn't really surprise me all that much. But for those out there that are worried that we're not going to get much content from, let's say, New Year's to February 1st, I wouldn't really be worried about that, and we'll get into why that could be the case. First of all, MWII Season 2 started on February 11th, Cold War Season 2 was February 25th, and Vanguard Season 2 was on Valentine's Day, February 14th. So if anything, Season 2 is going to be starting earlier than what we saw with the 3 previous Call of Duty games. So with that in mind, if a mid-season update is coming out December 14th, there could be something else that's fairly big that's on deck for maybe early January, right when devs get back after their holiday break. Now, the Ghost of Hope did put out a tweet in which he speculated that Modern Warfare 2 could get the Cold War treatment with its first season, where there's both a mid-season update and even a reloaded update. So Season 1 obviously came out before Christmas for Cold War. We got the release of Rebirth, some new content for multiplayer, some zombies, but then right when devs got back from their holiday break, they put out a bit of a mid-season update with whatever was left on the roadmap for the most part. But then all of a sudden there was a reloaded update that came out a couple of weeks after that, featuring Firebase Z and some other surprises that were not at all on the first season's roadmap. So with that in mind, I do think that considering how far ahead of schedule Infinity Ward has been with Modern Warfare 2, even if you don't believe that, that's definitely the case. Modern Warfare 2 could very easily have a bunch of extra content on deck that they're not going to save for Season 2, but instead end up dropping early for a potential reloaded update to kind of keep people going from that month of January all the way until Season 2 starts within the first week of February. Now, I don't want to sound ungrateful though. If we just get the reloaded update on December 14th and nothing after that until February 1st, just gotta accept that. There's plenty of content they've dropped which should keep us going for a good month plus. We have different blog posts referring to the December 14th update as the mid-season update, and then other blog posts are referring to it as the reloaded update, so those could just mean the same thing, like you would probably expect. But if the Cold War exception does play a role here, then maybe those are gonna be separate updates, but some of the blog posts just refer to the update incorrectly, and we might get something in January, you never know. Gotta look back at how older Call of Duties worked, where we didn't really get any DLC updates for 3 months at a time, and that's just the way that system worked. We all dealt with it. I think right now we're spoiled with getting updates every couple of weeks, so let's just see what happens with the mid-season and then Season 2 here for Modern Warfare 2. But in terms of actual content, let's start off with Codball. This is an LTM that was first leaked out by the Ghost of Hope a couple of weeks ago, in which he said that the only new map we were going to get in Season 1 was going to be this limited time map that you played a LTM on, and the LTM, in my opinion, sounds fantastic. From what has been leaked in terms of gameplay or information, it's essentially Call of Duty's take on Rocket League. It'll be sad when the mode eventually has to go away because it is an LTM. Hopefully they keep it in private matches forever because it does sound pretty sick. The gameplay that leaked out also looks pretty exciting. Can't show it on screen for obvious reasons, but by the time this LTM releases, I'll say by then it's going to be looking like the 3 limited time bundles will already be out for Neymar Jr., Pogba, and then Messi. The LTM is kind of just a cherry on top for this limited time crossover, on top of the fact that as of right now in game, you can go ahead and pick a team that you think is going to win in some of these World Cup finals, and based on which team you predict is going to win, you'll get a free blueprint if you make the right prediction. So there's actually a lot packed into this crossover that's more unique in comparison to what crossovers we got during Vanguard, where it was just bundles. Cold War obviously had it really cool where they actually added in limited time maps and limited time game modes, but I think the way Modern Warfare 2 is doing crossovers so far is really fascinating to me, and I can't wait to see how CODBall works out. But considering that the World Cup finals are before Christmas, I'll say the CODBall LTM is either going to drop on the 14th, which is when the mid-season update is, maybe shortly after that, right before the devs go on holiday break. It'll be somewhere in that window. But the big question I've seen all you guys asking is the LTM going to be in Modern Warfare 2 where you have to pay to play it, or will it be free to play through Warzone 2? I honestly think it'll be free to play. I could be mistaken on that one, but what they'll likely do is maybe add that to the COD HQ menu where you don't have to even go into Modern Warfare 2 or Warzone 2 to play it. It'll just be sitting there in the HQ menu so that anybody out there who's either bought Modern Warfare 2 or has downloaded Warzone 2 for free can access that really quickly. But with free access to Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer apparently beginning on December 15th, the day after this Reloaded update, I don't think it would be that big of a problem if CODBall was locked behind premium Modern Warfare 2, meaning the full version of the game, because at least people out there that download the free trial could at least access that mode for a couple of days. But again, I just don't think they're going to lock that behind a paywall whatsoever. Now, just quickly want to mention that we have 2 other operators also set to release during Season 1. One is a individual named Klaus, not sure who that is. People out there are speculating that it could be Christmas related. I don't know about that one. I don't think it is, but there's a description of his character over in Season 1 blog post. And we're also going to be getting Gaz, the infamous operator from Task Force 141. I put out a short about this a couple of days ago. Unfortunately, just like Price, Ghost, Farah, and Soap, you can only get your hands on Gaz through an operator bundle. No unlock missions, no battle pass progression whatsoever. They'll just be locked behind a paywall, so maybe that'll change in the future, but as of right now, that's the way to get your hands on both Klaus and Gaz at some point during Season 1. Now, it's also worth pointing out that when Season 1 first started, a gun game-like mode was added to Mount Zaya over in the Spec Ops menu. I didn't get a chance to play it. Other people out there did post footage of it on YouTube, and they got quickly removed after about, I think, 2 days of it being live, so that either is a mid-season update that'll probably be out before Christmas, or that's something that isn't even close to release. Maybe it's something for Season 2. Now, we also got our first look at raids, which nobody out there has really talked about all that much. I mentioned this briefly in a video I posted last weekend talking more about how the forgotten mode of Modern Warfare 2 Spec Ops is going to become more and more important as the seasons progress, but there is a piece of intel in Spec Ops that seems to give us our first look at episode 1 of raids, and as COD Lorefax pointed out, the room depicted here seems to be set up like the one from the COD 4 campaign mission, No Fighting in the War Room. I'll put footage on screen of what that mission was like in case you guys forgot. It even has the same hole blown in the wall, which is likely going to be how we enter here in this episode of raids. It'll be a nice throwback to the original COD 4. Really looking forward to this one, and you can obviously tell that that room is flooded with some water. And then we have the official Season 1 blog post that talks about raids a little bit. As they wrote, continuing the story of the Modern Warfare 2 campaign, raids will be the ultimate challenge for trios with a mix of stealth, all-out action, and puzzle-solving objectives. Expect a full tactical overview and additional raids intel during the mid-season. So obviously I'll make a separate video when we get that mid-season blog post. Can't wait to see what they say about raids, because again, this is a major release. This is going to be the equivalent of a zombie Easter egg hunt, hopefully the equivalent of a Destiny raid. There is so much packed into this that, like I said earlier, I understand how multiplayer isn't getting that much in Season 1, considering how many newer and major experiences are coming out here in the first season. We had Warzone 2 and DMZ on the same day, raids a couple of weeks later. There's a lot going on here. But obviously I'll leave this article linked down below in this video's description. I talked about it before. It's from Insider Gaming, in which they talk about what their source has told them behind the scenes about how raids are liked. They described it as a tactical version of a Destiny raid. raid, multi-hour long puzzles. I mean, this is going to be crazy, and I'm really excited for the fact that these seem to be episodes that are going to be dropping every mid-season update so that they don't get overshadowed by the other major content that comes out during the start of a new season. These deserve their own time in the spotlight, and I cannot wait to cover these when they do start releasing every so often. Now, in terms of new multiplayer maps, we already know about Shipment, which we have a new image of thanks to the blog post, and we can kind of get a good glimpse of, but during the daytime over in MWII, either through Warzone 2 or DMZ. I'm excited for this. It does mean that before devs go on vacation for holiday break, we'll have a Shoot the Ship 2 playlist live in this game's multiplayer. Now, I also want to say that there's a strong chance Museum also gets hotfixed back in before devs go on vacation, unless they haven't resolved the legal issues surrounding the map. I don't feel like it'll be put off any longer. I don't think they're ever going to even market the return of Museum either in a roadmap or a blog post. They'll just add it back in through like a stealth update, and then it'll just be available for all game modes again like we were accustomed to during the beta. But there's no doubt in my mind the map is going to come out very soon. For those again that are saying, oh my god, no new map in season 1, how lazy, blah 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 blah, like I said when the season first started, if they would have just added in new maps this season and then for a couple more seasons in a row without any remasters, without Shipment, without Shoot House, all you would have been seeing in YouTube comments, tweets, replies is, oh, where's Shipment, where's Shoot House, I want to grind camos, new maps suck. I'm glad they got that out the way now to avoid those conversations, and then hopefully they focus on actual new maps for every future season going forward. Maybe drop a remaster here and there, but if there is a greatest hits map pack coming to Modern Warfare 2 next year, then I'd rather them save all the remasters for that big drop in 2023 instead of dropping all of them throughout the first couple of seasons of this game's life cycle. But theoretically, right? Oh, there's no new map in season 1. Well, there kind of was, and it's the entirety of MWII through Warzone 2 and DMZ. I know it's not for multiplayer, but there's no doubt in my mind that new multiplayer maps are going to be coming during season 2. But when it comes to new weapons and even game modes, as of right now, the only weapon left is the Chimera Honey Badger, one of my all-time favorites. I'm really excited for it. As of right now, the weapon platform that the Chimera is a part of is already live. We already have the AR and the SMG a part of the same platform, the M13 and the Bass P, and the sniper that came out, aka the Victus, is not a part of any platform, but the Chimera is going to really round up the brand new season 1 platform. Looking forward to more weapon platforms in future seasons, but hey, if there's a reloaded update that's separate from this mid-season update that comes out in January, more weapons could also be on the way. But since Cyber Attack and Bounty are modes that are live early through private matches, I think it's safe to say those are the 2 new game modes for multiplayer that are going to be marketed with the mid-season update. If we don't get a roadmap for the mid-season update, then you could probably assume that there is a bigger chance we get a reloaded roadmap in January with some surprise content that wasn't on the original roadmap. But then again, I'd rather them save all the juice for the second season in February instead of maybe wasting anything during a mid-season update for January. We'll just have to wait and see. But the Ghost of Hope did put out a list of upcoming game modes that include Reinforce, Drop Zone, Gun Game, Infected, Uplink, Cranked, Team Defender, and even Grind. And don't forget about Gunfight, which has been rumored for quite some time. I do think that that'll be marketed at the start of a brand new season, since they'll end up adding in, 3, 4, 5 small maps that the mode will be played on. But lastly, when it comes to the download and preload, if the mid-season update does start on the 14th of December, then we'll likely end up seeing the preload pop up in the database on maybe the 12th or 13th, that Monday or Tuesday of the same week. PlayStation Side's already reported on the fact that update 1.11 was added to the database, and it came out really quickly after that. Unless he was late to the party and just missed out on when that got added, I'm sure we'll end up seeing that update for the mid-season added to the database maybe the weekend before or just the week of when the mid-season is supposed to start. And don't forget, that patch will likely also have a new batch of bundles, since I don't think the list that got leaked out so far is the final list for Season 1, just the beginning of that batch. We know about Ethan from Infinite Warfare, some other packs coming out that look really damn cool, and I'm sure a couple more will also be added in right before the holiday break so that they're just scheduled to release all throughout the end of December and then even January before Season 2 begins in February. But that is about it. This has been dkdynamite. Leave our thoughts down below in the comment section. What are your thoughts on everything we know so far about the mid-season update for Modern Warfare 2? How are you feeling about our first look at the upcoming raid and everything else we discussed? Really hope you've enjoyed, and peace out, everybody.